Hello everyone and welcome to the Archaeogaming Museum, where today we are continuing our look at quests that are about or related to archaeology in old school RuneScape. In this video we are continuing where we left off in our video early in the week, where we completed the dig site quest, unlocked the dig site and a load of other quests which have a sort of heavy archaeology theme within them, and today we'll be looking at the Golem Quest. If you've not seen that video, there'll be a link down in the description, or you can follow the link at the end card at the end of the video. So, as always, we will be playing this quest, or doing this quest with our archaeology hat on, looking at how it represents archaeology, heritage, and museums, how it represents them, and what impressions that may give people about those professions or about those subjects. Just like in the last video, we will be using the official old school RuneScape wiki quest guide just to help speed things along. So the quest itself revolves heavily around the ruins of Uzer in the Caridian Desert, south of Varrock and the Jewel Arena, and the description of the quest on the wiki is as follows. Deep in the desert stands the ruins of a once great city of Uzer, where a lone survivor, an ancient clay golem, forever paces back and forth. It is badly damaged, and its mind cannot rest until it has completed its task for which it was created. It is up to you to uncover the secret of the lost city and add the final chapter to the story started in the violence of the Third Age. So I said we have already sort of obtained a lot of the items required for this quest where we can before starting, again just to keep things sort of at a speedy pace. And just as a reminder, this video is not designed to be a guide or walkthrough for a quest. It is just us looking at the quest and how it represents, as we said, archaeology, history, heritage, and so forth. So let's jump into a quest. Again, it's been a long time since I've done this quest before. Previously, during my last stint in playing old school RuneScape, almost about 17 or so years ago. So we're already here at the quest start, and from what I remember with this quest, there is a certain amount almost of sort of reverse archaeology, and you'll see what I mean by that when we get to it. So, here we are. This is where we are in the world Gillenor, the world that in which RuneScape is set. Last time, in our last video, we are here at the dig site and the exam centre. And now we're down here in the nice hot desert. And I don't very much like the heat, so and neither do your characters, so let's get a move on and let's start by talking to the broken clay golem. Damage, severe, task, incomplete. Start this. Shall I try to repair you? Repairs needed. Okay, so we started by talking to him. So the first thing we need to do is get clay if we don't have it already, which we could do just by travelling north. But as I said, we've prepared that already. So let's start by just using our clay on the golem, and hopefully he will become less damaged. You apply some clay to the golem's wounds, the clay begins to harden in the hot sun. So again, some more clay. Fix the golem's legs. The golem is nearly whole. And we finally repair the golem with our final piece of clay. Damage repaired. Thank you. My body and mind are fully healed. Now I must complete my task by defeating the great enemy. There's always a great enemy lurking within strange ruins. That we can say for definite as archaeologists. What enemy? A great demon. It broke through from a dimension to attack the city. The Golem army was created to fight it. Many were destroyed, but we drove the demon back. The demon is still wounded. You must open the portal so that I can strike the final blow and complete my task. How do I open the portal? The 4 statues in the temple must be turned to the correct pattern. Okay. What makes you think you can defeat the demon? If not I, then who else? No living being can destroy the demon. That is why the golems were created in the first place. But the demon was badly wounded, and the elder demons heal very slowly indeed. It was almost dead when it retreated into its own dimension. Now that I am repaired, I will be able to destroy it easily. Well, let's go and have a look at the inside of these ruins. So like all good ruins, they're full of ghosts. So we've got big door there, which we're not able to open. And we have these statuettes in the alcove, and naturally, one is missing. So that will be our first task, is trying to uncover that. And where do all strange statues generally end up? That's right, in a museum. It belongs in a museum! And this is the kind of reverse archaeology that I'm talking about. We're actually going to go and repatriate the statue from the museum and return it to its resting place back in the ruins of the desert. So, what is our next stage? So we headed into the temple by climbing down the stairs behind the golem, and inside we discovered that one of the statues was missing, and I did actually miss out a part. Whilst we are here, just like in old temples, there are weird things left on the ground, weird implements that people like to pick up. Archaeologists like to pocket. I mean, I don't mean that. We don't do that. We definitely don't do that. Archaeology is not grave robbing. But we do need this strange implement for the quest. Although archaeology within fantasy worlds often quite literally is grave robbing. And that's where they're different from real life. And that's the important distinction we need to make. Right. So, we have now got everything we need for the next stage of the quest, which is going to revolve around the dig site from the last video and the Varrock Museum. Now, after finishing the dig site quest, you can go to the museum and you can start doing a little mini game where you clean objects after they've excavated, a little bit of post-excavation and a little bit of conservation ready to go on display in the museum. One of the things you can find is a ruby necklace, which when examined and when you show it to one of the experts, they say had a remnant of a enchantment on it, and they'll show you how you can enchant one yourself. And this turns out that teleportation spell turns out to take you quite close to the actual dig site where you dug previously, and it's a nice little quality of life item for certain quests linked to this series and linked around the dig site. So we are going to fast travel using that pendant, and I am going to do a video on that a mini video on that little cleaning mini game and more about the Varrock Museum at a later date. So, whilst here, we need to go to the dig site, and we need to find Alyssa, who might be able to help us find more, or find out more. Again, without some of these guys, I'm not entirely sure how we would figure this out. But there we go. I'm going in completely wrong direction because my compass was pointing in the wrong direction. So where? Ah, here we go. Here is Alyssa. Hello there. What do you do here? I'm helping with the dig. I'm an expert on the Third Age architecture. What is this place? In the Third Age, this place was a great city. Look at these giant walls. They put Varrock to shame. I don't know, Varrock is pretty impressive. I don't think it will look this good when it's been buried in the ground for 3,000 years. She sounds like a Romanist to me. What happened to the city? No one knows for sure, but the Third Age was a time of destruction when the gods were violently at war. Many great civilizations were destroyed then. Okay, so we've talked a little bit to Eliza. Cool. Ah, I just realised I had missed out a stage. Well, no need to worry about that because it means we get to travel back to the ruins, and that's, after all, what an archaeologist's life is in. And also shows us an easy way to get back to the ruins, which is another slight cheat in a way, which is using the necklace of passage. It does make things a lot easier. And from here we kind of just run a sort of slightly southeast, making sure that we've still got a good supply of water because we're out in the desert. This is why it's important to read your field notes fully before you start doing what you're doing. So just take this letter, which is also what we're going to need, and let's just talk to the clay golem again about opening the portal, which we've already done. Yes, we did do that. We didn't have the letter though, so let us read the letter. Dearest Barmen, I hope this finds you well. Here are the books you asked for. There has been an exciting development closer to home. Another city from the same period has been discovered east of the rock, and we are starting a huge excavation project here. I don't know if the museum will be able to finance your expeditions as well as this one, as I fear the current trip will be the last. May Seldom grant you a safe journey home. Your loving Alyssa. So now that's how we know we need to go and talk to Alyssa. At least that makes a bit more sense than some of the previous or some of the other quests. So that being said, let us go back and talk to Alyssa. So we can do the next part. This is also a good reason not to rely on guides and to use your own eyes whilst looking around. So we almost forgot the strange implement and the strange letter, but we're good now. What's a video if you don't make a few mistakes, eh? If you're not making mistakes, you're not trying hard enough. So now we can go and talk to hopefully that opens up a few more chat options. Oh yes, here we go. I found a letter in the desert with your name on. Ah, so you found the ruins of Uzer. I wrote that letter to my late husband when he was exploring there. That was a great city as well, but the museum could only fund one excavation, and this one was close to home. If you're interested in his expedition, the notes he made are in the library of the exam centre. Looks like we're going back to school. Exam Centre and Education Centre, it's referred to as both sort of interchangeably. It's where we got our qualifications from. At least in this version of RuneScape. So now we need to go and search in the bookcases to find Varman's notes and make sure we read them before progressing. And that will lead us back to the Varrock Museum. Make sure we search all of them. I bet it's actually that bookcase there, isn't it? Oh no, it's here. No, that's book on chemicals. We don't want that. We've already got the book on chemicals. Ah, Varman's expedition notes. Let's have a read. September 19th. The nomads were right. There is a city here, probably buried for millennia and revealed by a random motion of the sand. Ah, it's how often that happens. And good point out that, often archaeological discoveries are made through the use of local legends and through local knowledge of local people, where maybe history neglects to record certain things. The architecture is impressive, even in ruin, and must once have been amazing. One puzzling factor is that for pottery, there are fragments all over the ruins, surely too much for a city, even of this size. We have set up camp and we will do a proper survey tomorrow. September 20th. The meaning of the pottery was explained today in a most surprising manner. We found a mostly intact clay statue buried up to its waist in sand, and soon as we dug it out, it started to walk around. It is a clay golem, built by the city's inhabitants and dormant all this time. Its head is badly damaged and it is uncommunicative, but its existence tells us that the city's inhabitants were expert magical craftsmen. The huge kilns in some of the buildings indicate that at some point before the destruction of the whole city was converted to the manufacture of these golems. We have also examined the carvings on the large building in the centre. There are symbols depicting several of the ancient gods, including Saradomin, Zamorak, and Armadil, but there is another prominent symbol that I cannot identify. As it seems we will need to be here for longer than I had thought, I have sent to Alyssa for books on golems and religious symbols. September 21st. As we examine the ruins, one thing has become increasingly clear. Most of the damage was not due to weathering. These buildings were destroyed by force, as if torn down by giant hands. September 22nd. A breakthrough! We have found the staircase into the lower levels of the temple. This part has been untouched by the elements, and the carvings here are more intact, especially four beautiful statues in the alcoves framing the large door. I have removed one of them. The door will not open. I am glad I sent for a book on symbols, as the unidentified symbol is even more prominent here, especially on the door. September 23rd. Our messenger returned with the book. I asked for and a letter from Melissa. It is unfortunate that the museum will not be able to finance a full-scale excavation here, as well as the one closer to Varrock, although I am of course pleased that the other city has been uncovered. But with the books, I'm able to piece together more of the story of this city. The unidentified symbol in the ruins of the in the ruins is that of demon Varrock, who was Zamorak's chief lieutenant during the God Wars of the Third Age. With that information, I can say with confidence that these are the ruins of Uzer, an advanced human civilization said to have been destroyed towards the end of the Third Age, roughly 2,500 years ago. It was allied with Saradomin and enjoyed his protection, as well as that of its own mages and warriors. Varrock was able to open a portal from his own domain straight into the heart of the city, bypassing its defences. With Saradomin's help, the army of Uzer was able to drive Varrock back, but the record ends at that point, and it has always been assumed that at a later attack, either by Varrock or Zamorak's other forces, finished the city off. Examine the door again, I now see that it is exactly the sort of door that could be used to seal Varrock's portal. I am suddenly glad that I was not able to open it. I surmise that the army of the golems were created in order to fight the demons, since Uzer's army had been wiped out and Saradomin's forces were increasingly stretched. However, this approach evidently failed since the city was eventually destroyed. The art of the construction of the golem has been lost since the Third Age, and although they are sometimes discovered lying dormant in the ground, no concerted effort has been made to regain, thanks largely to the modern Saradomin's Church's view of them as unnatural. This view is without foundation, as golems are neither good nor evil, but follow instructions that they are given to the letter, and without imagination. Indeed, expecting extreme discomfort for as long as a task is assigned to them remains incomplete. Some golems were constructed to obey the verbal instructions, but the main method of instruction was to place magical words in the golem's skull cavity. These were written on papyrus using a naturally occurring source of ink, and their magical power derived from the use of phoenix tail feather as a pen. These would have been used for long-term or important tasks and would override any verbal instructions. We all found a lot of reading, but that gave us a lot of information. So, now we need to go to a rock museum and ask the curator, Halen, who we met in our previous quest and video, about the missing statuette. So, let's take a quick sneaky teleport to the rock museum to go and see the curator. It's always good to go and visit a museum after all. So, here he is, so let's talk to curator Hagen. Welcome to the Museum of Varrock. There we go. I am looking for a statuette recovered from the city of Uzer. Ah yes, a very impressive artifact. The people of that city were excellent sculptors. It's in the display case upstairs. No, I need to take it away with me. What do you want it for? Yeah, why not? I want to open a portal to the lair of an elder demon. As, you know, archaeologists do. Good heavens, I'd never let you do such a dangerous thing. I wonder what he says if we talk to him about the other thing. What if we mention about just wanting it? Well, I just want it. Well, you can't have it. The museum never lets go of its treasures. And that is often an issue with a lot of museums. I'm pretty sure this is the second time we've pickpocked the curator in... We've done it in another quest, I believe. He's obviously not a very observant chap. So, we need to go and find... I think this is it. Is this a display case? This certainly looks it. Third age, 3000 to 4000. This statuette was found in an underground temple in the ruined city of Uzer, which was destroyed in the late Third Age, suddenly due to causes unknown. It is probably represents one of the clay golems that the craftsmen of the city built as warriors and servants. The statuette was originally part of the mechanism whose purpose is unknown. So, we are stealing from a museum, but it's for a good cause. It's for the repatriation of an object which probably should not have been removed, especially as it helps Dar. Although actually if it's not there, then it's harder for the demon portal to be open, so... But we are going to repatriate the statuette. Is there anything else we need from this museum? Nope. Now it's time back to go to the actual ruins themselves. But whilst I'm here, this area just behind this nice velvety red rope here is an area where you can help with the post-excavation cleaning of objects found from the dig site excavations. And one assumes also a certain amount of conservation goes on as well, because any items you do find go into display cases. Whilst I was trying to uncover the dig site pendant to make this quest a bit quicker and to make the travelling a bit easier, I found these other objects here which are on these lovely pillows, purple pillows. A couple of coins and a lovely symbol. But again, I will go through that process in a later video. So let's teleport, fast travel back, as it just makes the whole travelling a little bit easier and the video hopefully slightly less tedious. So now we need to go back and enter the dungeon again, and then replace the statue and figure out how the door is actually unlocked. I wonder if there's any new chat options for it. Let's see. So he doesn't know the pattern. Luckily the guide does tell us the pattern. But, again, not entirely sure how you're supposed to figure that out. But I guess just through trial and error. I think missions they must all be turned to face the same. We want them to face north. Can't tell which way. try this. So here were the kilns which were mentioned in the letter for making pottery, and one assumes the actual the golems themselves. And it looks like that has opened the door, so let's go and have a look. Some very nice skeletons. And again, that looks very much like the demon. Farmeron had died of his wounds, as there is no demon present here. But there is a lovely throne, all covered in gems. Well, the demon's not using them, is he? So, I don't have enough. There we go. We'll just take those as you know, payment and recompense for the effort we've gone through. So I guess we better go and tell the good news to the golem, or golem, depending on how I like to pronounce it. And here are some of the strange insignias. Let's just take time to appreciate these ruins, actually. So here's some of the strange symbols that were mentioned, and I said all good ruins and tombs and things have lots of ghosts. A reclining lady statues as well, some more iconography. A statue that succumbed to bad weathering by the looks of it. Some Varrock symbols there. Guthix and other Saladomin symbols as well as we go around. Some more kilns. An awful lot of statues. Statues of people with hammers, maybe these were some of the builders. Statue of two women. And maybe these were the ghosts of some of the builders. I maybe should have bought the Ghost Speak amulet, and maybe they might have been able to tell us more. Not sure if they can. But let's go and talk to the golem and tell him of the good news. My task is complete. You must open a portal so I can defeat the demon. It's okay, the demon is dead. The demon must be defeated. No, you don't understand. I saw the demon's skeleton. It must have died of its wounds. Demon must be defeated. Tasking complete. He doesn't want to believe it, does he? So, luckily, we learnt in reading Varman's notes in how to override his programs. So, we've managed to create some ink using the mushrooms we harvested earlier. And luckily we've just happened to have some papyrus, some that we made earlier in true sort of Blue Peter style. Oh, don't want to drop the feather, I want to use it. And then, yeah, let's use that to write some new tasks. And now let's try and convince the golem. I already told you, he's dead. Task incomplete. Now, okay, let's actually use it on him then. Nope. You can't see a way, so what do I need to do then? Oh, right, so this is what the strange implement is for. It's for reprogramming the golem. And now... Okay, so I used that on him. There we go. New instructions, updating program. Task complete. Thank you, now my mind is at rest. And there we go, there is the Golem Quest complete. Now, main reason we need to do that quest as well is, exploring a little bit more about the museum and doing some sort of reverse repatriation of some of the museum's artifacts, doing some reverse archaeology almost. Not reverse repatriation, reverse archaeology. Let's get that right around. What's also it's another step in unlocking some further quests which revolve around exploring long forgotten ruins, other things involving the museum in Varrock, and other quests relating to archaeology. So that's really it for this episode. The quest is complete. We will again continue looking at quests revolving around the museum and the dig site, and we'll do a video on the dig site and the museum in more detail as well, about what you can do there outside of just normal quests in the sort of mini games and things like that, over the next couple of weeks. But in our next episode, which should be released on Friday, we will be looking at doing our first playthrough of Archaeogaming. And again, that'll be either Friday or Sunday or somewhere along then, just because a few things have cropped up since Monday, when I sort of put forward the schedule for this week. But the Let's Play for Archaeogaming is coming soon, and before the next set of RuneScape videos. And of course, at some point we will turn to RuneScape 3 or non-old school RuneScape to continue our look at the archaeology skill there as well. But thank you very much for tuning in for this video, and until next time, take care.